AIPAC's website, these are the Negroes that they support. Look at all them Negroes getting money from AIPAC. This is straight off their website.
This is the People Before Politics show, broadcast every Sunday at 6 p.m. Hosts Damon K. Jones and AJ Woodson bring you the news that impacts our community. Join us for unfiltered, unapologetic coverage of the stories that matter most. Black Westchester Magazine presents the People Before Politics show, the news.
And I'm going to go back to where I really think it's like disrespectful to Black media. When me or you, AJ, when we put out these articles to try to inform the public, the first thing they do is send us what the white media says. I think it's disrespectful, especially from Black people. So with the national conversation around Israel and what's going on with Israel, in 1964, Malcolm wrote an article called Zionist Logic, and it was published in a paper in the Middle East. And he talks about how the Zionists, and he said this in 1964, will control the thoughts and the media and how we perceive things and control our politicians. So then I decided to say, hey, man, do they control our politicians? So in the follow-up in part 2, in Zionist Logic, absolutely, they control our politicians. They control our politicians. The entire Congressional Black Caucus gets money from AIPAC. And if you go to AIPAC's website, they brag on how much money they give to the Congressional Black Caucus. And you wonder why we can never get all these Black people to stand up for a bill to study reparations. But yet, our first Black president, Barack Obama, cuts a deal for $8.3 billion a year for 10 years to go to Israel. But when the Democratic Party controlled the House and the Senate and the White House, we couldn't get a bill to study reparations. Take it over for a second, because my wife is going to keep calling me.
Okay, I was on my phone. Yeah, I don't know how to follow that up. Oh boy, I hope y'all enjoying the show. This is for anybody who's watching the show for the first time. This is Black Westchester presents the People Before Politics radio show. We're on every Sunday night, 6 to 8, sometimes extended time after that. We simulcast live on Facebook, YouTube, X, sometimes IG, and anywhere else they let us, LinkedIn, and anywhere else they let us. So we're simulcasting live. Go ahead, Damon.
All right, so I'm back, man. Sorry for the interruption, but she would keep calling me. Anyway,
You now return to your regularly scheduled program. Okay.
Exactly. So we have to understand, and I tell everyone, whether you're black, white, don't matter, right? Democrat or Republican, don't matter, right? If you want to know who your elected official works for, look who donates to them. That's who they really work for. We have to take the time to really, with our vote, and that's what Malcolm meant, the ballot of the bullet, because before you shoot your bullet, and your bullet is a vote, know who the target is. See, many of us, we vote for people because they're associated with a party and not look at the individual candidate on their own merit.
A party or organization.
Right.
Or fraternal organization.
Exactly. So you have the Congressional Black Caucus, which is supposed to be, and you could go to Open Secrets. You don't want to believe me? Anybody watching? With anybody that's watching that don't want to believe me because it's coming from Black Westchester, you could go to opensecrets.com, put any black elected official in there, and it will tell you where they get their money from. So during the 2023-2024 election cycle, Hakeem Jeffries got roughly $866,000 from pro-Israel sources, including AIPAC. Gregory Meeks got $510,000 in pro-Israel donations. Chantel Brown got more than $120,000. Wesley Bell got over $8.5 million from AIPAC and pro-Israel donors. And on AIPAC's website, these are the Negroes that they support. Look at all them Negroes get money from AIPAC. This is straight off their website. They don't work for you. Black people, Black America. Recently, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Republican, put in a bill. Now remember, Israel gets $8.3 billion a year. Billion with a B. Marjorie Taylor Greene put in a piece of legislation to decrease it $500 million. These Negroes voted no. These Negroes voted no. People that you vote for. They don't work for you. Black communities are suffering all over the United States. Even a boost of $500 million to go to poor Black communities and poor white communities. The only people that voted for that decrease was the squad, the usual ones. The rest of the Democrats that you vote for, Black people, voted against decreasing it $500 million. Just $500 million.
That's very interesting what you just said. The only people that voted for it was the squad. It's ironic that AIPAC spent so much money to try to get rid of everybody in the squad. First and foremost, the biggest, loudest one, Jamal Bowman, where they spent more money on that race against him than had been spent in any congressional race to history at the time. So it's just ironic when you start adding up the dots and you start connecting the dots and everything is local. I brought that because everything is local. I wanted to see how people like, oh, that don't affect us over. No, it does affect us. Right. Your only black congressman you don't have no more because of that, because he's bucked the system.
And this is what we don't. And this is the crazy thing that we don't understand. And you wonder why our communities look that way. Would 8.5 billion change anything? It will help. Does it come close to what's deserved in reparations for Black Americans? No, but it's a down payment. It's a down payment. And for you Negroes that say people today shouldn't pay for what happened yesterday, no, that's a bill that has been overdue. It's a bill that has been overdue. And the sad thing about it is Black people do not pressure Black elected officials on their position on reparations, even to study it. Even to study it. And this is why we're in the condition that we're in.
So I wanted to pull that up since Martin Luther King in the speech, the called "I Have a Dream," talked about that and used it how America paid us with a bad check.
Exactly.
And just before he died, he was coming to the government demanding our check, our payment, and that was one of the things that happened just before he died. He was demanding make good on that payment that they were supposed to have paid us.
Exactly, but they flipped his speech. Wasn't nothing about dreaming of holding hands with white folks.
And that wasn't the name of the speech from older people from the era. That was not the name of the speech. They turned Martin Luther King, who was a revolutionary, into a dreamer.
Exactly.
And that's how they teach young kids, he's the dreamer.
So we have to understand, and y'all people vote, but y'all vote for these Black folks. Y'all vote for them. Look, and AIPAC is proud. This is on their website. This is on their website. I took this right off their website. Look at all these Negroes in the Congressional Black Caucus. Look at all these Negroes. Look at that. Hakeem Jeffries, the head Negro in charge of the House.
Joshua said, "You are token over most Black people's head. Political literacy is running rampant throughout our community in the United States."
Well, we still got to talk about it.
But we have to. But you know what? But we got to keep talking about it and keep talking about it, and hopefully it'll hit a few. You know what I'm saying? Like we worried about changing masses at the time. Sometimes it's basically you just got to get one or two, and you got to get them, and then they got to get one or two, and that's how you make that change. So we gotta keep saying it. But I agree with you. This is probably flying over a lot of people's heads, and people are like, "Yo, how you going after Hakeem? What's wrong with you, Black man?" And all this other stuff. And
listen, we're not going after Hakeem. We're trying to get you engaged and get you to understand how.
What's the website? I'm sorry that you got it from, so she can look it up.
Oh, it's AIPAC. AIPAC. Hold on, let me bring it up. So I can get it correctly. I'll tell you right now. It's AIPAC.org. Right? And not only that, hey, Kimmy, not only that, you're going to see all the other Democrats that get money from AIPAC. You're going to see all the other black folks that get money for AIPAC. And let me tell you, if you don't want to take my word for it, let me see if I got this right here. I'm going to let elected officials tell you what they do. If I still got it. I'm not sure if I still got it. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 minute. If I still have it. Oh, do I still have Marjorie Taylor Greene on the joint? I don't think I still have it.
Yeah, but as always, like we gave you the website and you can check, again, we're Black Westchester. We don't take our word for it. Go look for this stuff yourself. We're going to give you the information. We're going to share with you. We did plenty of stories on AIPAC and their influence on, how they affected certain elections and all of that. We've been talking a lot about them. But you can go to the website. What Damon showed you is right off the website. You can see it for yourself. And I'm glad Kemi asked for the website, because too many times a lot of our people don't check. Like somebody says something and you go ahead and run and go tell that, and you didn't look at it yourself. And then sometimes you sharing bad information that's being filtered into our information. So I'm glad that she asked for that. And then I know that sister's gonna look it up, and when she talks to her people, she's gonna share that. Not just that she heard it on Black Westchester, she saw it for herself. So
right.
That's important, that we look into stuff and not start repeating everything we hear online without backing it, without no facts to it. That's how so much misinformation. What I do is leak it to one or two people, and y'all will do the rest. It's like, it goes around faster that way than it does with mainstream media.
All right, so I just want to play this. Yeah. Yo, we are talking about the wool being pulled over our heads.
A foreign lobbyist. That is required. It's extremely important. Here's the difference with AIPAC. AIPAC is not registered under FARA, under this law that requires anyone coming to lobby a member of Congress or a senator or department of the government and the federal government on behalf of another country. So AIPAC argues, but we're Americans. Yes, they are Americans, but they are coming to Congress and to the federal government asking on behalf of the country of Israel.
And if I had taken money, I could see them really thinking that they had a right to control my speech or my positions, right. Which is why I never have. Of course, I mean, in what context would I?
I want to get to the
position. Has
my member of Congress, or first year in Congress, takes every single that they can. AIPAC takes every single that they can. Freshman member of Congress or first year in Congress, they take them on a very special trip to Israel in August. August is our recess. It's our month-long district work period. That's
Dems and Republicans, or just Republicans?
They take both of them. Oh. Yes, and they invite pretty much everyone, to my knowledge. So they take them on this trip to Israel. I guess they go on tours all around. I didn't go, so I don't know what they do there. But they take them on tours, like the pictures we've seen recently of the speaker and other members of Congress at the Wailing Wall.
They've all gone.
They've all gone.
See them all.
And they wear the kippah. Mm-hmm. And even though they're Christians, they're not Jewish, but yet they're adorning Jewish attire. And they're at these Jewish religious sites. Mm-hmm. Then they also meet with different members of the Israeli government. Now, we got to recognize the Israeli government is secular. This is not the biblical Israel. It is the secular government of Israel. And so they meet with their members of all throughout their government, and the prime minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, meets with them. And so they've done that trip already this month. The new freshmen and members of our leadership all went and they did that trip. Here's what else they do. AIPAC takes influencers. They take really big people like you. They want you to come over there. They want to pull you in because they want to pull you on their side. And why is that? Okay, for members of Congress, every single year, annually, Israel receives, and we have to vote on it, it's a yes or no vote, $3.8 billion in funding for Israel. Now, what does that money mean? Well, they'll say, "Oh, well, this is for Israel. It's them to be able to defend themselves. They're the only democracy in the Middle East.
Yep.
They're constantly under attack. They're surrounded by their enemies who wants to annihilate them."
That's all true.
Sure, we're not arguing those points. However, let's flip over and look at what does this mean? Number one, Israel is doing so well with their economy, and I'm excited for them. This is a big deal. I wish we were doing this good. We're $37 trillion in debt. Israel is less than $400 billion in debt. Less than.
With American social media influencers to talk about how they are going to shape U.S. opinion. I honestly, with my eyes, I was going, this can't be real. Like, they're not even hiding it anymore, right? It's like, first it was a conspiracy theory. Now it's like, here's what we're going to do. Okay. And what are we going to do? How are we going to beat out all of these independent voices who are winning because they're telling the truth? So Deborah Lee asked Bibi Netanyahu specifically about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the potential loss of evangelical support for the state of Israel because of it, which, by the way, is going to be the consequence of this. It will be the consequence of this because they lied after he died, and it pissed me off. Okay. Take a listen to what Deborah asks.
So something I would like to raise, which was actually my first published paper, was how you and the Likud party are cut from the same ideological cloth as Trump and the GOP in America. And so specifically with Charlie Kirk's assassination, who was a big mentor of mine, who's my first mentor in the space, evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Okay. First off, I don't know why it's always me and Tucker Carlson. Why? Why is it always Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens? Like, can it be anybody else? It's all like, what? We have nothing to do with one another. I've been on his show twice on his independent show. I just love Tucker. I do. I'm a fan. I'm not going to lie. But I feel like they're starting to think we're the same person. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens over and over again. But listen to Bibi's response, because prepare yourself. What he is saying is that they are about to launch a psychological war on Americans. Take a listen to what he says.
Christian influencers, okay? You said, we talked about the woke right, and you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane, they're movies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well. Okay, and you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is Class? TikTok. TikTok. Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important. X. Exactly. Very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
Okay, so like we're allowed to say Israel controls the media now.
Just came off. But the point I'm making is black people, y'all have to stop listening to MSNBC and all this other bullshit that goes on here because they're not telling you how the government is working against us. Against us. Now, they're not only buying your politicians, they're buying your influencers, which we talked about that before. Now they own TikTok. They're about to buy TikTok. BET. Yeah, they're going to own BET. And Kimmy Post said, I was into it. I don't know what you talking about, AJ. She said, I don't know what you talking about. But we have to educate ourselves to understand this. So
send her the link. No, I was just saying that was just too long, like for the end of the show. Like it was just like I need you to get straight to the point where we needed to be. It was just
I had to find it. But at the end of the day, let me see if I can post it. Let me copy and paste all. She's on what?
Who?
Oh, she's on Facebook. Hold on a second.
Well, send it to me. I can just text it to her.
Yeah. I'll send it to AJ. He'll send it to you, Kimmy. Let me see if it come up. I don't know which one she's in, but so we have to understand that because that's very serious and why things are not getting done for black people. And we wonder why things are not getting done. So the goal was the goal was what? The goal was to let people know Marjorie Taylor Greene is telling nothing but the truth. She's telling nothing but the truth. And if y'all didn't get it, seeing all these black and those are Congressional Black Caucus, you could go on the site and see all your Democrats. George Lattimore's up there too.
Right. And she was saying all her colleagues, she was like beyond
all right.
Again,
Republican and Democrat.
So let me be clear because I know we're gonna lose some people. So I don't rock with this chick most of the time, but we can't miss a message because of how we feel about the messenger. For this piece of information right here, we need to seriously look into that ourselves, and we need to stop just blowing away. This is the problem with the divisiveness right now when both parties being so far. You don't want to hear anything when it comes from certain people. This right here proves a lot of stuff that Black Westchester has been saying about AIPAC. And the purpose of that, showing one of them even talking about it, because I showed another video earlier where it was a white congressman. He was talking about all his colleagues have a handler. When it's time to vote on stuff, he said the running joke is, oh, let me check with my handler on how I should vote for that. So sometimes we miss the message because of the messenger. I'm not a fan of hers either, but that does confirm a lot of the stuff we're saying, and you're hearing it from the other side. For those people, and for those people that don't want to hear, they don't believe it when it comes from a black black media.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You need to hear a white voice say it. You know what I'm saying? You just heard a white voice say it. So information is knowledge. MSNBC is the liberal Dems propaganda machine. This is why Van Jones is kissing Israel's butt. All righty. Shout out to Kwame Madden.
Yo, but yeah, fantastic. But let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100 too. They're only talking about this because of the death of Charlie Kirk. Whether people think about Charlie Kirk what you want, but this is brought those, and now you know what they call them now? Those who talk about Israel's control over the politics, they call them the woke right.
Yeah, we gotta stop letting people co-op our message and give us misinformation, and we run with that, and we take it for verbatim, and then we share it in our community. We spread more of this misinformation than anybody else amongst ourselves because we saw it somewhere. And a simple, in this day and age, a simple Google search will show you if this information is true or not. In most cases, it'll tell you that information is not true because blah blah blah, or this.
Well, look, you can't even trust that because the recent New York Times article about Tish James omitted all of the information from Sam Antar. And that article was used against what we had.
Right.
From a reader. So you can't even believe the New York Times.
You have to be an independent thinker, period. You should not believe 100% of anything that you read. And again, I'm confident enough in what we write and what we report. I'm telling you, don't believe 100% of anything that comes out of our mouth or that we write. Look it for yourself. A lot of times when we run stuff, we will have the receipts in there. We'll have the documents in there. We'll have the links in there. We'll have the videos in there. So you yourself can see where we got this information. And then you can make your own assessment and judgment and be informed voters at the ballot box or when it's decision-making situations. But we shouldn't be believing anything that comes out of it. That's the problem. We become too lazy and we just accept things that are being told to us. And that's how they control our situations in our communities. Point blank.
Right.
And with that, I'm out. So I just wanted to be like,
with that, even like you said, even posting Marjorie Taylor Greene, we lost about 8 people. You know what I'm saying? Because they saw her and they got triggered.
Well, I didn't get triggered. I was just saying, I'm saying
some that will see that they will get triggered, and that's how you lose. That's how Black people lose, because we are conditioned to this point not to think outside of the box.
Well, you missed it
again. And if we don't start thinking outside of the box, we're going to continue to lose, and we're going to get hit more than any other ethnic group. Because number one, as brother was saying, we don't even have a national agenda.
That is the problem. That's the problem. Yes, Kevin.
We don't even have a national agenda. You say, well, what's our agenda? Well, whatever the Democrats say. What are you talking about? Whatever the Democrats say.
That's why we have to start doing things on a local level, and we don't have a local agenda. Like, forget about a national agenda. You don't have a local agenda for your community, for how your community is policed and how things should be done in your community. And we got to start there first before we can expect anybody to do some kind of national thing when you don't even have nothing for your own personal local. So the local thing, like we keep saying, local, you can control and you have more control over, and that controls more of your day-to-day. And, that's where we got to start. But I am out at this point because I got something else I got to do real quick. So,
well, we out of here, man.
So this has been another episode of Black Westchester Presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday night, 6 to 8, simulcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and anywhere else they let us stream. And Kemi said they do in Austin. They have a local agenda.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And thanks for everybody watching. Check us out throughout the week. The Black Economy, Wellness Wednesdays, Motivational Thursdays, Friday Morning Cheat Code. And from the publisher's desk will pop up throughout the week, depending on what I feel like making a video about.
And shout out to our guest brand agent from Philly and the work that they're doing down there. You'll see him more, and the brother with the reparations and all that. We're gonna have them come back on and talk about all that. So, yes, sir, I am back, and we about to get
All right. So we out. Peace in the Middle East. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester Magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today. We out. Peace.
This is the People Before Politics show, broadcast every Sunday at 6 p.m. Hosts Damon K. Jones and AJ Woodson bring you the news that impacts our community. Join us for unfiltered, unapologetic coverage of the stories that matter most. Black Westchester Magazine presents The People Before Politics show, the news with the Black point of view.